3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're listening to Ash on Comics. I'm Ash, and this is Ash being late. What's going on? Oh, man. Every single time I don't pay attention to the sound mixing on this stupid Streamlabs, it's not doing audio, and that's what happened. God, I need a way to be better at this. Melissa's first. Welcome, Melissa. Good to see you. RDB says, if you're not first, you're last. So I guess I'm last. But if I was the first person to give the stream a like, awesome, RDB. You get participation trophy. Let's see. He says, I'm almost through issue 30 with Walking Dead. Figure I'll be done by Thanksgiving. I said I'm betting Halloween. We'll see. I'm going through them like a fish in water. All right. Well, as you may have guessed, there's been some technical difficulties. I was actually talking on the stream, and it wasn't playing audio to you guys. So for that, I apologize. I wasn't actually late, but I was late because I had to start over and fix things. So here we are now. We'll just pretend that never happened, and I won't go through the political diatribe that I went through with you guys, that you don't even have to hear me now. See, I saved you all of my ranting and raving that was going on. Oh, my goodness. Dang. Marania's here. She says, Melissa caught my hypoglycemia. I'm a known carrier. God, 6 feet away, says RDV. 6 feet away. Sorry, RDV. Little do you know, hypoglycemia is contagious by much more than 6 feet. He says, I have chicken and cheese chimichangas. And, damn. RDV says, oh, crap, Ash, did you forget to mute your mic? Yeah, I wish it was that case. My mic actually beeps, or it blinks when it's muted. So it's easy to know when it's muted. So I don't fool myself. It's this Streamlabs, which if I had a second monitor, which I do at home when I use it, I don't use it mostly. I could just have it up there and I could see. It's like the little behind the scenes broadcasting studio. But the problem is I have to put up like my browser or the things I'm looking at, or like the chat to see. So it covers, and then I can't see what I'm broadcasting. So, whatever. You guys are here, and I'm thankful for that. I don't know how many viewers I lost. I'm just a big failure all around. I need a partner to help me out. Let's see. Ash is on Ash Standard Time. Ronnie says, get rid of the beans, and then I'm good. You don't like beans? Man, beans is great. RDV says, El Monterey is the brand. That's the same brand of frozen burritos I buy. RDV, do you get the good ones or the cheapy ones? The good ones I think are called like the Signature Series, and they're individually wrapped. Or they have like the cheapy ones that come in like 8 to a bag, and they're not individually wrapped, and they're like $3.50 a bag. Or the good ones are like $10 a bag. The Signature Series are pretty good for frozen burritos. I get the chimichangas too. I really like those, but they have the cheapy ones. They have a new flavor that my store has called Ghost Pepper. It comes in a black bag, and those are pretty good. Let's see. So yeah, $3.50 for 8 frozen burritos. It's cheap. It's for poor people like me. Let's see. RDV says, I wonder if they'll get the hook. Yeah. I got to scroll past all the stuff where I was failing. Let's see. New album. What are you talking about? New album? Oh, who cares? I don't know. Let's see. I'm not explaining that one. It's a wicked sense of humor. Oh, Marania, that's pretty vile. Has Ash been knocked out by pillows? Geez, how much am I going to get through before... see, Christopher Barker's here. Suffocate Ash with pillow so he wakes up. Chris, I hate to break it to you, but suffocating someone with pillows is not a way to wake someone up. So probably refrain from using that technique in the future. Lord is here. He says, hi, Ash. Hello, Lord. Welcome. Mr. Sinister being on Krakoa is hypocritical because non-humans and non-mutant superheroes and villains are banned by the racist ethno-supremacist fascists. Mr. Sinister is a mutant, so he is allowed on Krakoa. Let's see. Christopher Barker. Hello there, Melissa. Let's see. I don't know why I'm reading hellos to other people. Chris says, Ash, you're late, damn it. I know. Well, technically I was on time, but I was failing. It says, double check everything before starting. Well, I did. You can't double check the stuff you do while you're running before you start. So it just has to do. Anyways, I'm not going to make excuses. I failed. I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. And the problem is when I do this, then I start looking because Streamlabs gives me a little, behind the scenes look, and it has it shows like a graphic indicator of volume, and you can see the little light thing bouncing around when you talk, and I can see visually what my sound levels are. When what happened was it wasn't transmitting sound, so I would, if I looked there, I would have seen that nothing was happening. Now going forward, I'm going to look at that and make sure, and then it's going to go a couple weeks will go by, and then I'll get lazy and stop doing it because everything will be right, and then that's what happened this time. The one time I don't check is the one time I failed. So let's see. RDV says that 24 minutes of dead air really sets the mood for Marvel Zombies. Man, I am not going to get this let up. It says, RDV says, I'm telling you, if I co-hosted, we wouldn't have this audio issue. Turn left and then turn right. I turned RDV onto this navigation program called Waze, Waze, which is my favorite navigation app by far. I love it. I've been using Waze for over half a decade. It's the first thing I load up on any new phone, and it's a great navigation app. And one of the cool things that it does is that it has like special voices for the navigator. And so September was Batman month, and so for big promotion, Waze got Batman to be the voice. So like when you have your turn-by-turn directions for your navigator, instead of the normal voice that most programs have or whatever, you can have Batman. And when I say Batman, I mean the one and the only Kevin Conroy. It's awesome. And then the little car that pictures on the map as you drive, you can have as the Batmobile. You can also have the Riddler if you want, but I don't know who would choose that when you can have Kevin Conroy. And it's awesome. It's just cool. And I mean, the Waze is great even without that. I mean, I've been using it forever, but ever since I've had Batman. One of the other things I love about Waze is that it has a police report, like not police reports, but you as a user can input data as you drive around. One of the points of data that you can enter is like, hey, there's a police officer here on the side of the road with his radar gun. And then it reports to every other Waze user as they drive by. So it'll warn you, like, there's police up ahead. Be careful. Like, watch out. Don't stop speeding, essentially. And I'm telling you, it saved me so many tickets. I love it. There's a sense of satisfaction when I see a police officer by the side of the road and I get to like click the button and be like, bloop, there's a police officer right here. And so now I know everyone else who uses Waze is getting the message. And the voice notification for that is pretty cool. It's Kevin Conroy saying, Batman tells you, police ahead. Be on the lookout for Commissioner Gordon. And it's dorky, but there's just something cool. Like I said, it's Kevin Conroy. So, anyways, Venkman seems to be pretty happy with that. So get Waze and remember me. Let's see. Christopher Barker says, well, Ash, once you flap your arms around gasping for air, I'll know you're awake. What? I don't even know. What are you guys talking about music? I don't see the music. I'm missing the conversation. Melissa says he's not a mutant. He's a mutate. He was a human mutated by Apocalypse. Not in the new X-Men. In the new X-Men, there's many Mr. Sinisters, and he is a mutant version of one of the many Mr. Sinisters. So, technically, sorry, Melissa, Hickman outthought you on this one. He is a mutant Mr. Sinister. He actually kills Mr. Sinister in the issue that he gets introduced in. So it's kind of cool, actually, how they introduce Mr. Sinister. But it doesn't excuse the rest of the shitty writing. Let's see. Christopher says, still no sound for him? What are you talking about? There's still no sound. I heard sound coming. You can't fool me. Yeah. So, to heal him, shame on you. Try to trick me. I was born without an X gene. He got his powers from Apocalypse. He is a mutate. No, Melissa, you're not reading the X-Men. He's a mutant version of Mr. Sinister. Batman told me to turn left and then brace for impact. RDV Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Netflix, October 30th. That's still not going to get me to watch it. RDV says I don't watch Agents of Lame. You know, I got through 3 seasons of that show, and I want to like it. I can't. Hickman's wrong. He's a god. No, Melissa, you haven't read the story. I'm sorry. I agree with you about many things, but this version of Mr. Sinister is a mutant. So, I don't know what to tell you. He kills the non-mutant version of Mr. Sinister. The X-Men, they go to him, and he won't cooperate, and then he kills Mr. Sinister and says, I'll cooperate. I'll join you guys. I'm the mutant one. And so that's an interesting workaround, I guess. So they created a variation of Mr. Sinister. The other thing you have to remember, Melissa, is that Hickman has created the whole multi-time stream scenario in X-Men. So thanks to the Moira McTaggart scenario, all the X-Men that you've read in the past is not necessarily canon. That timelines have been wiped. This is a whole new timeline. So, let's see, Ghost Rider in season 4. I can't even imagine how awful that might be. RDV says, I'd rather watch Danny or Johnny Blaze. And I am done with the chat. All right, thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. We are all done. Oh, wait, I got comics to read. Thanks. I'm not even prepared on these because I had to change this all up for my last stream. But tonight's books we're going to be reading are, if I can get them up here, Marvel Zombies, issue number 2, as well as The Long Halloween, issue number 7. I've been enjoying these. I hope you have been as well. This whole month long will be Halloween-themed books. As you can probably guess, Long Halloween will run throughout the month of October, and Marvel Zombies is 5 issues in total. And then I'm looking for 3 issues to fill in the gaps after this runs over so everything syncs up perfectly. I think I found what I'm going to do, but I'm not 100% certain. So please keep suggesting ideas of anything that's 3 or less issues long, that's Halloween related in some way, that'd be fitting the theme of Halloween. I will need that in 3 more episodes for something to read. I do like taking audience suggestions and reading something that'll be fun for everyone, hopefully. Marani says, time for me to stop eating with Marvel Zombies. Oh, it's not that bad, Marania. Halloween, I wouldn't be reading DC or Marvel. Why not? It's comic books. We're all comic book fans, aren't we? Christian Gully, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Hello, welcome. I can't recall the name of the comic that had variant covers, but with very small changes. I recall you mentioned it on a previous stream. I don't remember either. Jimmy is here. He says, hey. Read anything by Jason Aaron. That's real scary, says RDV. Oh. Tonight's stream brought to you by the refreshing Coke Zero. I'm drinking a nice one of those big steel bottles that are popular these days. The double line vacuumed, keep your drink cold for a day type things. I love these things. I don't have anything special to drink. Although I'm at a house with a ton of liquor, I could probably liquor it up, but I don't really want to do that. I'm getting old. Liquor doesn't appeal to me as you get older, because the older you get, the more the side effects matter. Like when you're young, the positive versus negative is like really slanted more. Like you get a lot more positive and then you wake up with a headache. You're like, oh, no big deal. As you get older, it starts slanting the other way. Like imagine a teeter-totter or the scales just like switching. And now it's like you wake up and you can't function all day because all you had is one damn beer the night before. Let's see. RDV says, I don't care what RDV says. I'm going to have to put both you and RDV in the naughty corner. Play pen quirks. What's going on? What am I missing? Let's see. Christopher Barks says, straight up horror for Halloween for this guy, and that's me. All right. Well, yeah, everyone's free to their opinions. I'm trying to tie in comics and Halloween. See how that works there? Like people who love comics and mix it with a Halloween. Yeah. So I think Marvel Zombie. That's pretty horrific. Look at this cover here. Come on. Look at Captain America. He just looks disgusting. The whole Iron Man though, it looks a little weird. Like, why would the armor be all decomposed? It's metal. Like theoretically, like if Iron Man was a zombie, you wouldn't be able to tell. It would be exactly the same. But what do I know? I'm just some schlub who can't even run his YouTube channel right. RDV says ash on prune juice. One day you're going to be here, RDV. One day. Rusty Deo's here. He says, good day. Melissa says, Ash, you're wrong, and Hickman's run is not canon. I'm not wrong. Hickman's run is canon. You can argue with Marvel. But just because you don't like it, I don't like it either. I think it's garbage, but I'm not going to be unfair or incorrect about something just because I don't like it. That's not the way to go. Let's see. Ash, show your work, please. Show my work about what? I don't know what you're talking about. Rusty Dale, look at this. All I see is your thumbnail. Thumbnail? Oh, I see what you're saying. Look at the cover. You're right. I think I'm having an Englentine moment. That's my problem. There we go. There we go. All I see is your thumbnail. Not anymore. Now you see the Marvel Zombies. It's tough. I really need to have a second monitor. That's the solution to this. I need to stop failing so hard. RDV says Thanksgiving will be RDV on apple cider. I don't even know if I'm having a Thanksgiving this year. Like Halloween's canceled, Thanksgiving's looks likely be canceled, except for people who violate the law. Like there'll be people who say screw you, government, I'm going to do what I want. Chris says no, Englentine remembers things, Ash. No, you don't remember the last Englentine stream, Christopher. he was he was forgetting everything. Um, RDB says he just needs a co-host. Yeah, I agree. But sometimes you're just off. I apologize. I am not some YouTube superstar. I'm just a schmo who wants to talk about comics, and I set this up, and part of the problem is I want to use Streamlabs because I like Streamlabs can do a lot more than the typical StreamYard, what everyone mostly uses. And StreamYard is like super simple, but it's so basic, and if it's just me by myself, it doesn't work as well for like sharing the screen and doing stuff. So that's why. And again, I shouldn't make excuses. I just fail. So I guess we should probably get into tonight's comic, or the first one at least, since chat is dying down and I'm losing subscribers by the handful. Let's go ahead and read Marvel Zombies number 2. If you missed the first one, fear not. Not a lot really happened. A bunch of Marvel characters became zombies and ate each other. Not to say that it was bad. It was fun read, but not a lot of plot. Hopefully Kirkman, who I really like, brings it up a notch with this issue. We shall see. Let's go ahead and bring this to full screen before I forget. See, look, I'm already remembering to transition to the full screen. Look, I'm getting better. I'm improving. I even beat RDV to the punch when he said full screen. Here we go. Marvel Zombies, part 2 of 5. He's gone. Where did he go? Well, does anyone see him? Does anyone know where he might have gone? I'm not seeing squat. He was there, and then he was just gone. And what are we gonna do now? I'm starting to get hungry again. Should I fly up and see if I can find him? I could do a sweep of the city, see if I spot anything. Right. So when you find him, you can keep him all to yourself. That's a brilliant plan. You so much as flap a wing and I'll have Thor send his makeshift hammer through your face. Let's see if you survive that. I was asking a question. Jeez, man. I don't understand why you can't be more civil. Colonel America, you got any ideas? If we got food traveling the skies, I want to get to it before anyone else. Any plans? What can we do? The speed of that thing was moving at, we can't catch that. Maybe if the Hulk saw it coming in time to leap to it. But otherwise, I think it's a waste of effort. There's got to be pockets of civilians hiding somewhere, like Magneto's clan. We'd be better off finding them. By the way, the speeding, if you missed last episode, the speeding thing was Silver Surfer. Sounds like a plan to me. Still, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get the story on our visitor. Find out where he came from. So keep your eyes open. In the meantime, get back to the others. Tell them what happened with Magneto. I'm going to see if I can find Janet. I'll meet up with you later. What are we going to tell Iron Man? I mean, about Magneto. The truth. That during the fight, Magneto broke a gas line and died in an explosion. He was vaporized. There was nothing left to eat. Right. Gas main. That works. We'll see you there. Tonight? I don't know. I have to find my wife first. I'll be there as soon as I can. Hey, Luke, you think maybe... Hop on my back, you cripple. That's my zombie sounds. Brains. Shrinking. You awake? Hello? T'Challa? Good. I'm glad you're unconscious. I thought maybe the sedative might have run out. The mask helps my conscience, but not as much when you're squirming. I was going to do a little work today, see if I couldn't figure some things out. Sadly, the meal I had earlier isn't going to last long enough for me to keep a clear head. Looks like I'm going to have to carve off another piece. You don't have a preference, do you? I figured I'd start in your legs before I finished off your arm. You know, the others would kill me if they knew I had you down here. They wouldn't understand. You'd be gone and I'd always be hungry. Can't think when I'm hungry. You understand, don't you? Don't worry. I always clean the tools after I use them. Never know when I'm going to come down here in a rush needing a bite to eat. And I don't want you getting infected with mine or any other disease or infection. I need you here, human, for as long as I can hold out. You understand, right? I don't enjoy this. I think it's sick. I do it for the good of us all. I'd like to think that if I didn't keep you drugged, you'd volunteer for this. That said, I'm not going to let the drugs wear off so I can ask. So I guess I am a monster. You want to hear something really scary? Well, something that scares me at least. I like the way flesh tastes. Really, I do. If I were to somehow find a cure for whatever's going on with us, if things went back to the way they were, or as close as they could get, I think I'd still eat people. That terrifies me, really. The scary part is that it's the only thing about me, about all this, that terrifies me. And I just sawed off a friend's foot so I can eat it. What the hell is going on in here? Janet! You're hiding this from me? From you, from everyone. Nobody knows about this. Why? The rest, you especially, lack the restraint needed for this. You'd have him eaten in a day or two. I can't have that. I need him. How dare you? You're going to share him with me, starting now. Or what? You think you can hurt me with your stings? I don't feel pain. None of us do. Swack. Oh, he just backhanded her. Ooh, that's not politically correct. Someone's canceled. You'll share him with me, or I'll share your little secret with everyone. Got it? You know I can't allow that. Oh, man. Throom. Ugh, disgusting. Well, I guess you got the last laugh. Should have known not to do that. We taste terrible. Now I've got a mess to clean up. I'll leave that for later. Where were we? Oh, yeah. I better get to that before it gets cold. What's that? Sedative wearing off? Kill me. No can do, old friend. If I do that, your meat will spoil. Then you'll taste no better than my poor wife's head. We can't have that, can we? Now shut up. It's going to take me a few minutes to find your sedative. Daddy has work to do. Meanwhile, oh, zombie Doctor Doom. Man, well, the one people I would have thought might not have been effective in Doom. Iron Man come back earlier. You're the last to arrive. Nobody's found Magneto. He's been asking about you. I think he's pissed. Hello, Tony. Cut the crap, Steve. Where the hell have you been? What took you so freaking long to get back here? What happened to you? You're all ripped up. We found him. Magneto. There was a fight. He got in some good hits. You found him? Where is he? Did he get away? No, he didn't. The fight got pretty hairy. A gas line was ruptured. There was an explosion. Magneto's body was burnt up. There was nothing left to eat. Really? So there was nothing to bring back for the rest of us. You didn't even get to eat anything. There was nothing. Nothing. None of you have eaten anything. Right? Spider-Man, how's your wife and your aunt? Oh, God, please, don't bring that up. I can't handle it. I can't bear to think about it. I'm not putting up with this, Flump. You geniuses think you can slip one past me. If you haven't eaten anything, why is Spider-Man so emotional? Not to mention the fact that Banner is standing here and not Hulk. He's only Banner after feeding. Then there's Banner's bulging and recently ruptured belly. That's a little hard to miss. We're sorry, Iron Man. It's just that, there wouldn't have been enough to go around anyway. What else could we have done? Relax. I would have done the same. I'm just pissed I didn't even get a taste. I haven't eaten in over a day. If it makes you feel any better, I didn't get any either. I showed up to the party a little too late. That doesn't make me feel better at all. Where's Hank and Jan? They were with you, right? They never came back. We haven't seen Hawkeye either. The wasp blew away with a chunk of Magneto. She didn't want to share with Hank. When we decided to come back here, Hank went to look after her. Hawkeye's dead, we think. You think? No, I mean, really dead. Magneto used my shield to sever his head. We never got around to checking to see if it finally killed him. You never know. True, we haven't exactly figured out what kills us, have we? If things keep going the way they are, I think we'll find soon enough, though. Oh? That's actually something I've been wanting to talk to you about. It's only a matter of time before we get hungry enough to try to eat each other, despite the taste. When that happens, staying in a large group together like we have been becomes a bad idea. True. Do you want to split everyone up? Say that we'd have a better chance at finding food that way? It's common sense, really. When this started, there was enough to go around. Billions, actually. We swarmed like locusts and picked the globe clean. Now, though, our food supply is slim to none. But no, I don't want to split everyone up. I want to disappear. Get about 10 of us together and just go. Search the Midwest, see if we missed anyone. If we took a Quinjet, it might look like a rescue mission. People would come out of hiding and try to flag us down. That's not a bad idea. Also, what about presidential bunkers and hidden bases? All of Congress has got to be underground somewhere. You'd remember where those places were from when you were president, right, Colonel? Maybe one or two. I didn't spend a lot of time in bunkers, and remember, I didn't serve a full term. Right. I'm starting to forget things. It's starting to become... What the hell is that? We saw him earlier. We have no clue what he is. Anything else you're keeping from me? No, this covers it. Yeah, Silver Surfer's my boy. The great Galactus has been summoned. He will arrive here very soon. Your world is to be converted into elemental energy to serve as nourishment for my master Galactus. I have surveyed your planet, and while it supports little life, it will be sufficient for his needs. Though it will mean the end of your existence, you must realize what an honor it is that your death provides sustenance to Galactus. Your time is short. Prepare for the end. Huh? Huh? What the hell is he talking about? I have no idea. Get him! Oh, that's a good ending to book 2. I like that. That's a good book. I always love me some Silver Surfer. I'm kind of a sucker that way. Oh, that's a cool homage cover. Is that I forgot the issue number that is. Hulk 2. Is that 282? I can't remember the number. If Eric Breen was here, he would know. The Todd McFarlane Hulk Wolverine cover is pretty famous. I used to have it and I sold it. Let's see. Get to the chat now. Christopher Barker says, "See, Ash, I'll typically read Anne Rice, Goosebumps, or some random book." Goosebumps? Goosebumps? Sorry. Well, I appreciate, read whatever books you love. There's nothing wrong with that, but being that this is a comic book channel and we're talking about comic books, it just wouldn't be, it's like, they're just not related. So, see, RDV says, "No one said it was great, but now it's canon," referring to X-Men. Let's see. Melissa says, "He's got half a brain. He should not be that smart." That is correct, Melissa. He's also dead. He shouldn't be able to talk. So sometimes things happen that don't make any sense. And I think that's part of the mystery of what's going on here. Like they've talked about in the last issue, like they even addressed that, like, oh, without a brain, I shouldn't be able to do stuff, but apparently that doesn't affect things. So they're wondering why that is. Good old Coke Zero. Complaining about it every day does squat. Now, RDV. Some people just need to vent and get things off their chest. I know better than anyone. Ronnie says, "That is creepy that Captain America can be so rational and tactical, even with most of his brain gone." Let's see. Christopher says, "Ronnie, I finished the whole series of Vampire Diaries. Great show." I will refuse to comment on that show. It's probably best that I just zip my lip. Ronnie says, "I may have to check that out eventually, Christopher." See me after the show, Maranya. RDV says, "Excellent show." Sorry, hold on. Yeah. Moving on. Damn, this would definitely not fly these days. For sure. Let's see. RDV says, "I remember this part. Hank is creepy." Melissa says, "I'm pissed off because of Hickman." We understand, Melissa. You've made it well clear. Let's see. RDV, "Even in death, Hank still beats his wife." Silver Surfer is a tinfoil wrapped TV dinner for the zombies, says Maranya. Yeah, I don't know if some of the things are a little bit weird for me on this whole zombie thing. And again, I know you have to take this particular story with a huge dosing of suspension of disbelief. But for example, Iron Man and Doctor Doom together, or any armored character, how did they become zombies? So you have to be bit, right? Now I guess either one could be bit, when their armor's not on, Tony Stark's walking around and Pepper Potts bites him or something. Okay, I get it. But if you know the zombie thing's coming and you can just sit in your armor, they've shown that these zombies have lost like their powers, so they're just essentially zombies, unless their powers are physical, like Angel's got wings so he can fly, but like Thor doesn't have his thunder powers, I don't think, if I remember right. Hulk can't turn into Hulk, or maybe now we're finding out that he can't do it just because he was fed. I don't know. It just seems weird. Like, I guess I don't know enough, but it seems like the zombies wouldn't be able to bite through Iron Man's armor. I'm also imagining they wouldn't be able to bite through Silver Surfer. The dude's like nigh invulnerable. He takes a beating from gods. I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling, and don't spoil this if you actually know, because I haven't read this, but I have a feeling like Galactus is going to come and be turned into a zombie. I don't know why. Like, I just feel like that's what's going to happen. And it's just going to be like, oh, crap. Anyways, RDV says he's Jiffy Pop. Jimmy says, "Ash, are you going to be on Discord after?" I don't know. I haven't decided. Ronnie says, "Wow, Iron Man is in Tales of Suspense Armor's this fourth issue." Yeah, this looks like it's classic heroes. Um, Also obvious it's not the real Marvel universe by the very fact that they don't know who Silver Surfer is. Now apparently this was a lead-in, like there was a lead-in story to this from Fantastic Four. So I guess the Fantastic Four were in some alternate reality dimension or something, and this happened and they got away, but I guess the Marvel Zombies spun off of this. Someone knows more than I do for sure, but that's what little I seem to know. Hank Pym had his shrinking growth power, so did Janet. Yeah. Jimmy says Vampire Diaries is amazing. Oh, God. Why do you guys test me like this? Skipitosh says, zombies. Nice, B. Oh, yeah. You're just in time for zombies to be over. Welcome, Skip and Tosh. Our next book for the evening will be Batman, The Long Halloween. It's still a little bit early in the night, though. I was hoping to get a little bit more chit-chat. I like chit-chat, especially since I started late. I feel like I'm robbed of the comic audience. But I guess this might be a good time, especially since Skip and Tosh is here. Make a little bit of an announcement. Something I'm very excited about, and spend a good portion of the day hammering out with Skip. We have a show that we're going to be doing starting October 29th. It'll be a Monday night. 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it won't be terribly late for you East Coasters. Hopefully Englantine, well, I'm sure Englantine will be streaming something. So I do my best not to clash with anyone else, but that's the time we're going to be doing it. 7:30 p.m. And it's with Skip. We don't have a name for it yet, but we are doing a show kind of reminiscent of shows you've seen me involved in the past, or Skip. And it's going to be dealing with independent comics and our love of them. The best way to think about the concept is if you've seen, television shows like, fan favorite kind of genre television that have like after shows, like the good examples, The Walking Dead. After The Walking Dead airs, they have another show that's called The Talking Dead, where they sit around like talk about the episode and stuff like that. The concept is very similar in that fashion, but for comic books, it's not going to be necessarily a review show. It's more of a celebration of love of comic books. In this particular case, just indie books. So we're not going to be covering any Marvel, any DC, and pretty likely, although it hasn't really been discussed, we're probably not going to be covering any like second tier mainstream books. And by that, I mean like Valiant Comics, and so forth, that have like their own universe. I don't expect we'll be doing anything like that. When we talk about indie, we're talking about like mostly creator owned stuff that's off the mainstream. Could be image books. It could be really by any publisher. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't even really be opposed to a DC, like if Vertigo were to come back somehow and do creator-owned stuff, I wouldn't be opposed. It's more about the alternative style book. I don't know. We haven't fully discussed everything, but starting Monday, the 29th, 7:30 p.m., you guys can join us. The intended program length is roughly hour and a half-ish, 2 hours most. I don't know. And we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be featuring comics that we're reading. So we're going to talk about one of the primary books we'll be talking on the first episode is Decorum, because it's a book that we both read, and we're going to geek out on it. And every other week we'll be doing this. So it'll be a bi-weekly show. And we'll also be talking about maybe some alternative books that only one of us reads. And then we'll be also covering every 2 weeks a trade paperback that we'll do almost kind of like a book club. And, kind of let you guys, the audience, if you're interested in following the show, join in as we read through a series through trade paperbacks. So if it's something that maybe you weren't, collecting today, anyone can jump in on, or if it's something you did participate in the past, you can still jump in on it. And for the first episode, we're going to be doing the book Pulp by, why did I just blank out on his name? Ed Brubaker. The issue, I'm sitting here looking at the chat. Don't look at the chat when you're trying to do these things. We're going to be doing Pulp by Brubaker, and then starting with episode number 2, we're going to be going through Jonathan Hickman's East of West series, 1 volume at a time. And we'll invite you guys to read along. We're not going to read them on air, but read a volume every 2 weeks and then come back and discuss it and geek out on it and get to share the love. One of the really fun things about comics, and I think both Skip and I share on this, is that enjoying the medium is one thing, but getting to enjoy it with other people is like icing on the cake. You can sit and read a comic book by yourself in your house, and you close the last page and go, that was satisfying. I enjoyed that. And then if that's all there is to it, well, maybe that's fine. But when you get to read a comic book every month and then you get to talk to friends about it and be like, oh my God, did you catch the last issue of this? Yeah. And follow along, kind of like a water cooler talk. Do you remember water cooler talk? Doesn't happen so much anymore thanks to the internet and COVID. But that idea, we live in a world today where binging things is kind of the norm. And, that can be fun. I've binged things before and sure, but it takes something that used to be spread out over weeks and months of enjoyment that you just sit and talk about into a 2-hour experience, or, maybe in the case of Stranger Things, it might be an 8-hour experience, whatever. You binge a TV show in a weekend and then it's gone and then it's out of your mind until the next season. But, remember TV shows like 24? It would last a whole year and you'd watch an episode and then you'd talk about it and be like, oh my God, and you have to wait till the next week to watch the next episode. But the cool fun about it was that it kept it in your mindset for all that time. You got to be surrounded with your enthusiasm and other people's enthusiasm. So I'm very excited for this. I think Skip's pretty excited. I hope you guys, this might be something up your alley. And so come join us if you dare. And we'll try to put on something fun for you guys. So, yeah. Let's see. And I like the new show alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Marani says, what day is this again? 29th is a Thursday. Did I say 29th? My bad. Good thing, Marani. If I said 29th, that was a tongue slip. It's Monday night, Monday, October 26th. Exactly 1 month after my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Monday, October 26th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. That'll be 8:30 Mountain, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, for those of you that are time disabled. Let's see. Skip. If that doesn't change your mind, nothing will. That's okay, but at least you'll show you my opinion on why I love it. I don't know. You guys talking about something else. Riddle me this, riddle me that, man. How you gonna mess with that Batmans? Let's see. Talking about Brian Hill videos. Okay, having a side conversation. Pulp is fantastic. You can watch an Educating Jimmy episode on it. Yeah. I have not seen the Educating Jimmy episode yet, but I will look forward to watching that after I read the book. And we will be talking about that book on Monday the 26th. Peep the Detective Comics commentary that he did on this issue. If you haven't, okay, you guys are still side talking. Skip says, yep, it's going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to people joining us with the reading the books and with the discussion. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. Marani says, I'll put that on my calendar. That's much appreciated. It makes me feel good, Marani. Thank you. And like I said, we'll do our best to bring something to the table, some enthusiasm and some joy of comics. And I think we both have a similar mindset. And, you know, while I can be very critical at times, and maybe Skip can be critical at times, this show is not about going to be critiquing comics. This is going to be about books we love. And so, you know, we're going to be fair. If sometimes you might be an issue or something we encounter that we didn't like, we're not going to just be shilling stuff, but the purpose of the show is to just be enthusiastic about the books we love and trying to share what we love. Like I said, like friends getting together, talking about the books that they love. And it'll be regular issues. We'll be repeating the issues. So it'll be kind of like a week. So we're going to be going over to Decorum. Firepower will probably be one of the books. Some other independent books I read, depending on what Skip gets into. So we don't have anything hard, concrete mapped out. We're going to let it develop organically. But you can be assured we'll probably be talking about books possibly like Oblivion Song, Birthright, Ascender is one of my big books, so that might be a topic. And we'll settle down on, you know, as the show kind of goes down, and like I said, it kind of just, you know, finds this equilibrium. We'll have a select group of comics that are just on the menu, so to speak, that are regular, and some will rotate in and rotate out because, you know, sometimes books end. And sometimes new books get introduced. And it's about being a fan of one or more of those books and joining us and just geeking out on them and stuff. So it will be a spoiler show. So if you have not read Pulp and you're interested, I suggest you read it ahead of time. And that's kind of the point too, is we want to share that. Like, read the books so you can come with us and be like, you know, and sharing on the fun. And then going forward after Pulp, because we want to give people time to join in. Well, I'll save that for the show. I don't want to leak too much, but we got something I'm very excited about going after Pulp. So stay with us. Let's see. RDV says I have 159 issues left to read of The Walking Dead. So what, like 3 days worth? Marani says Invincible gets my vote. Skip says, wow, I forgot that Walking Dead was so deep, RDV. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I hope he does too. I need to get the second 2 omnibuses. I have the first 2. They're like gigantic foam books. I want to get the other ones. Walking Dead is something I look forward to diving into one day. But I haven't yet because I'm a procrastinator. Speaking of procrastination, the long Halloween. Let's get on with the show. First, I need a swig of soda. April Fool's Day. Who is Holiday? It's a mystery. Broken into a jigsaw puzzle. Wrapped in a conundrum. Hidden in a Chinese box. Clues are left at the murder scene. These objects, easily obtainable at any 5 and dime store, were selected to represent the dates of the killings. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, holidays, like today, April Fool's Day. A riddle. A killer. Question. Why does Holiday always use the same type of weapon? Answer. He gets them wholesale. Or, let's be more practical. These 22 pistols are lightweight. Easy on the hand. Perfect for a woman. A cat woman. With the break-in last June, she had access to Mr. Falcone's safe, and therefore the names of everyone in the Roman Empire. Add to that the $1 million bounty Mr. Falcone subsequently put on her head. Suddenly, her best defense is a good offense. Moroni. From the outset, the Killings have always favored Sal the Boss Moroni, the Romans' chief rival for the control of Gotham City. He weakens the Falcone family, growing bolder with each murder. Who else on New Year's Eve? Would shoot Falcone's own son in the back? Question. Why does the killer shoot Alberto Falcone anyway? Answer. Because he can. I only meant that Alberto wasn't in the family business. Raising the issue, are all these killings somehow personal? Carla Vitti, Mr. Falcone's sister? Her son, Johnny Vitti, was supposed to testify against Mr. Falcone to the grand jury. It's no secret how the Roman tried to get a hired knife slid between the nephew's ribs. Did Carla Vitti do the unthinkable? Did the mother kill her only son just to hide her identity? Now her own guilt masks her rage. She is free to attack anyone since no one will suspect her. She was there on New Year's Eve. Who else could have approached Alberto without him reacting? At this point, it is little more than a son for a son. Moments later, she runs back to the scene, covering her tracks. If I may, sir, in all your theorizing, there is one person you have overlooked entirely. Julian Day. But according to Arkham Asylum's records, which could be altered, I suppose, the Calendar Man remains in their custody. It was not he whom I was referring. I might only point out that in one's quest for justice, I have seen someone even as sane as yourself behave in the most surprising ways. Two shots to the head. If you ask me, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I'm for letting them walk. We put the word on the street that the Irish cut a deal and see how the Roman reacts. Harv, your hair's all wet. It's been snowing. Captain Gordon told me he showed up late on New Year's Eve. On Christmas, he could have followed the Joker from his home and killed Mios and Roman's bodyguard. He left Wayne's Manor on Valentine's Day with plenty of time to confront Maroney's men at the restaurant. What will you do now, sir? Pray I'm wrong. Harvey Dent. Meanwhile, at the office of Harvey Dent, District Attorney, Bruce Wayne. You sure you want to go ahead with this? Arresting one of Gotham's most prominent citizens? No. But if Bruce Wayne is helping the Roman Empire, he deserves everything that's coming to him. Mr. Nigma, I was told there was no riddle you could not solve. And yet, you have only put together one guess after another, with no more certainty of one than any other. Ooh. If your life depended on it, and it does, tell me, who is Holiday? Carmine Falcone? Me. You? Sophia, take Mr. Nigma out the side exit. Yes, Papa. And Sophia, come right back. Yes, Papa. When does a killer not kill? I didn't catch that at first. It's got bullets completely tracing, outlining him, but it doesn't hit him. When does a killer not kill? On April Fools. It's interesting. The story's plodding along. Definitely, I am so against the breed the trade type of thing. I'm very much a supporter of. We talked about like drawing out your entertainment, but this is one of those books that defies that. This is a book so far that I'm like, sit and read the whole thing. It seems cool, but it does not seem to be written for that experience. This is truly a graphic novel cut into 13 parts is what it feels like to me. That's not necessarily to say that it's bad, not ripping on it, but this is a book for me that's designed to read in one volume, not individual books. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Where were we? Talking about Brian Hill, blah, blah, blah. More Brian Hill. Let's see. Ronnie says Invincible gets my vote. Okay, we're talking about. Oh, there's not many comments. All right, so this is pretty simple. Let's see. Comics says Comic Cruz Jimmy says Invincible has mine too, Maranya. RTV says, I say Ash should read Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. I would totally read Chuck Norris Karate Commandos if I could get a copy of those. I do not believe they exist on Comixology. Melissa says, bye, guys. She's out of here. Um, not a talkative crowd tonight. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my big failure at the beginning of the stream that I promise you, as much as one can make a promise when your name is Ash on Comics, that we won't have those same difficulties with Skip involved. Skip's much more professional than I am. Walking Dead is binge read for the next 6 months. Dude, it's not going to take you 6 months to read Walking Dead. Come on, Venkman. You're going to have that done. You're going to read like 10 issues a day. So 15 days, 2 weeks, you'll be done before you know it. Let's see. And that's it. So I don't really have much more to talk about. I'm on issue 100. No, you aren't, you jerk. I guess before we finally wrap up, I want to talk about a comic book that I'm reading, The Boys. I don't know if you guys have read this book at all. You may have seen the show. I'm a fan of the show. I had not read the comic before the show. Recently, I picked up pretty much all of The Boys on a Humble Bundle. They had a deal for $15, so you could get pretty much all of it up through the new Dear Becky series that's currently running. But you got the first 2 issues of Dear Becky. So I am loving this book. Holy crap. I did not think I was going to love this book like I love this book. I mean, I like the TV show, and people told me, the comic's not as good. I don't know about that. In some ways, the TV show is better than the book, for sure. There are some qualities in the writing that the TV show has, but then there's some aspects of the book that I feel are better than the show. And one of the things I will say about the book is over the TV show, the book feels like a work of art. The book feels like Garth Ennis expressing something to an audience. This book is a commentary on superheroes, or rather an extreme distaste of superheroes. And it's not uncommonly known that Garth Ennis himself is not a fan of superheroes. This is why he doesn't really write many superhero books. And the ones he does tend to be things like The Punisher. He's himself really not a fan of it, which is weird that you get in the comic book industry. But this book, it's blowing my mind. Like, the topics that he deals with, I guess it's because it's 2020 and I'm used to living in a comic world where everything's got to be woke and PC and we can't talk about certain things and da-da-da-da-da. And Garth Ennis, I swear, like, Billy the Butcher is Garth Ennis. And, in many cases, you might say, well, Ash, isn't like writing yourself into a comic book normally something you critique? And I would say yes. But I don't think Billy the Butcher is Garth writing himself in the book. But I do think Billy the Butcher, for me as an audience, is viewing a world through the same lens or a similar lens that Garth Ennis does. And when I read this book, I feel like I understand the writer to an extent. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just imagining things. The character of Huey is completely different than the TV show. The book itself is this, after the first 6 issues, which are different than the show in its own right, completely diverges. And it's a commentary on just the evil and the depravity of people in power. And now you say, well, the show is kind of like that too, and it is, but the show feels like it's more about celebrity and narcissism. and being an analog to that, like, like how we see movie stars and they lose touch with the reality. Well, who would be more of a star than a movie star? Well, obviously someone who could actually be like a superhero. And the comic book certainly has that, but it feels more than that. It feels like this isn't about just celebrity and narcissism. This is about true people who have power above and beyond normal people, and how that amplifies all the wickedness that's in the hearts of humans anyway, because all humans are broken, right? All of us are imperfect. We're all sinners, so to speak. But the more powerful we are, the more I guess that's the only way I can say it. The more powerful we are, like the more broken. And Billy the Butcher, how his whole purpose, he's not defined as a person who wanting revenge like the TV show. He's a person that sees the world where if you don't have a purpose, or if your purpose is destructive, then you don't have a place. And he's almost like a force of order. It's hard to explain, really, if you haven't read the book. I don't want to talk about, but I'm just really loving this book. I like I said, I bought the whole series, not on Comixology, although I bring it up here because if you have Comixology Unlimited, you can read all of this stuff. It is, I will say, this is hard R rated. If you think the TV show is a little bit off-putting with the adult material, the comic book is even more so, which again surprises me how this could be in this day and age of Me Too movements and homophobia and all this stuff. This book does not shy away from any of it. Does not. I mean, the name of the book is The Boys. Not because of any other reason than it's The Boys. This is like, we're not going to be like, oh, we're the people because we got a girl in our group, so we don't want to be misogynist. It's just, this is the most unapologetic book I've read in recent times, and I just love it. It's so refreshing, not because, I mean, it's ugly in a way, but it's so refreshing to read something so earnest and unafraid to tell its story. And this is something we used to take for granted. But in today's day and age, everything has to be pre-approved. And now you've got, publishers have, I forget what they're called, but they're basically like people that you hire to approve your material is, I don't want to say woke, but like it's politically correct. Like it's okay. It's a sensitivity. What is it? Sensitivity editors, or maybe sensitivity readers, I think is what it's called. You hire a sensitivity reader. If you're an author, you pay someone to read your book and then flag it to make sure you didn't say anything inappropriate or might offend someone. This is the world we live in today. But Garth Ennis is like, fucking take a hike. I'm writing this shit. And it's just like, I just imagine a dude smoking a fucking cigarette and putting it out in your face as he writes this book. And there's just, like I said, it's not going to be for everyone. It's a hard R rating. It's crude. It's violent, but it's not gratuitous. It's not trying to just be shock and awe. Like, it's just trying to make a point. And there really is something here. And the character Huey, much like the TV show, is sort of the focal, like the anchor point of humanity. So for the reader to look for, like, is there any humans in this story, or is everyone just a freaking raging lunatic that needs to die? Huey is that ground point, but even more so than the show, at least for me so far. I also really like, I know I'm going to sound like a jerk for not remembering the name, but the black guy, in the book version of him, I think is really cool. The Frenchman and the girl, have not been really done much with it so far. Although you can fully see that they are part of it, just like the show. If you haven't seen the show or at all, I recommend it. If it is something that doesn't go against your personal palate, you can read these and watch a show completely independently. If you read the books, it will not sour. It won't spoil the TV show, and the TV show won't spoil the books. They're really divergent. That's one of the things I'm really enjoying about them is that it's almost like two separate. I get two separate boys series. I get to enjoy them both because they're so different that it's not like, oh, this is what happened in the book, but slightly different. No, it's like way different. The TV show is like they took the basic concept from the first issue and then said, now we're going to go our own direction. But they're both really well done. So I'm loving it. I guess I could sit here and rant off forever on this. But I just wanted to take some time. Like I said, you can pick these up for Comixology and read them if you have the membership. Won't cost you a dime. If you miss the Humble Bundle, I'm sorry, man. $15, you got all of it. And yeah, that's been dominating my time reading comics. I don't know what you guys have been. Let's see. Ronnie, okay, I should have been reading chat this whole time. Sensitivity editors, sensitivity readers. Yep, you were helping me, and I wasn't reading. RDV says Butcher in his crowbar. Butcher is awesome in the TV show, but he's likable in the comic. He's a different character almost. Like the Butcher in the TV show is a man driven by revenge. And he's this hard asshole who like had a shitty father that made him that way. In the comic, he's a nice guy. He actually like apologizes to Huey a couple times for like pushing him too hard and doing stuff. Like I wouldn't say he's like a nice guy, but he's like a considerate guy. He's like not really trying to be a jerk. He's hard. Hard-edged, I mean, like, but he's I feel like he's honest and has integrity. He almost comes across like a hero. Like, it's interesting. Also, I guess it's really not really a spoiler. It kind of was like a shocker to me, but the way the books introduced it wasn't like a big reveal at all. It was only shocking to me because I've seen the TV show and I wasn't expecting it. And the books just was boom right away. The boys have access to superpowers. In the TV show, they don't. They're just people that somehow can go against Supes. But in the comic book, they can really go up against Supes because they have access to superpowers. So that's a really big change up in the position of the show. So they're sort of like the Supe police. They're like internal affairs for the Supes, if you will. Like they work for the CIA. They're sort of like a secret wing of the government. And so when the Supes get out of line, the boys show up to take care of business. So it's like I said, it's really different, but I like that angle. I like both angles. So RDV says Carl Urban is spot on Butcher. I don't know if I say he's spot on. He's definitely feels perfect in the show, but when I read the comic, the Butcher is different than the Carl Urban version. But that's not to say like Carl. It's not to slight Carl Urban at all. I think Carl Urban reinvented the Butcher to fit within the show's vision perfectly. That's how I would say it. I don't feel like Carl Urban is like the way he is in the comic. But granted, I've only read I'm in the second volume right now. So maybe things evolve and change. There's a lot of books to read. But I'm loving it. It's I don't know what more to say. I can't wait to dig into some more. Jimmy asks if I'm going to be on Discord. I think I'll go on a Discord for a little bit. Because obviously I just like talking. And anyone that wants to join me, you can go in there and we can chit chat. You don't have to jump. I mean, you got to jump into voice to hear the chat, but you don't have to talk. There is a text alternative. So if you don't like getting on the mic, there's no pressure to get on the mic. There's a text chat, and you can text to us and just listen in if you want. Just treat it like a radio. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show now a little bit early. Look at that. Ash is late to the party and early leaver. This has been another episode. I want to thank you guys for watching, showing me the support. I know that I'm not PewDiePie. I'm not any big time anything. I just love comics, and I love sharing comics with people that have the similar enthusiasm about them, just geeking out about the things we love. And sorry for the mistakes tonight. Thank you for putting up with me, and I hope to see you. The next episode will be Tuesday, and we'll have another episode Thursday, of course. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 10 p.m. Pacific time. Please put on your calendars. Show some support if you can for Monday the 26th for Skip and I's first pilot episode of our yet unnamed show. If you got any good, clever names for a show based on the idea that we talked about, being about independent comics and our love of them, please submit them. You can reach me on Twitter or Discord, or you can reach Skip. If you are in contact with him, he's got his own stuff. Please send some ideas. I would love. That's how I got my Ash Wednesdays name for my Wednesday vids. So I'm sure you guys can maybe come up with more clever things than me. So not Skip on Ash. No, that's terrible. So yeah, that's it. Thank you. Good night. Good luck. Stay safe. Read good comics.